KSM Show.
I am Kwabena from Pomboatim, a farmer. I trained as a heart surgeon, and I'm now the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation. Please watch the KSM Show on Metro TV.
Yeah, we're back, and I'm hanging out with Charlotte. And before we took the break, we're talking about the systems and how things can happen. Let me pick your brain. Right now, we're talking about systems again. We need a new registration, new voters registration, and all that stuff. How do you feel about all of this? There are two sides of it. Oh, let's use the old register. We're cool with it. No, we need a new one because it's the old one. Something. Do you have concerns about what is going on?
Possibly.
Possibly. Meaning, you do?
I may not.
You may have concerns, you may not.
If I had concerns, this would not be the place to say it. Okay. As a former commissioner.
Okay.
The Electoral Commission is a very important institution, but is also a very sensitive institution. It plays a very, very critical role in our country, and in fact in every country. In the industry parlance, we are called sometime chairs, people who have been chairs before. Mm. And as a sometime chair, you need to be very careful of how you speak and what you say. Mm. And I'm sure you'll notice that my predecessors are also quiet.
Very quiet, yeah.
There's a support system for chairs, for sitting chairs. There's all sorts of regional networks. There's the ECOWAS network of electoral commissioners. Mm. There's the African Association of Election Authorities. I was president and then chairperson for the 3 years when I was at the Electoral Commission. There's IFES, there's AWEB, there's the Commonwealth Network. So if a chair needs support, there's the National Democratic Institute, there's the Republican, there's all sorts of places where you can get support. But as a former chair, it would be unfair to publicly comment on whatever is happening at the commission now. Respect must be given to the current commissioners to do their work without the interference of commentaries from former chairs. And so, to any question, in case you have any more hiding up your sleeves,
you've answered everything.
Any question on the current process, I would say that all I owe to my country and to the commission would be my silence and my prayers, and would have to leave it at that.
You know how I planned this, and the question, you know, how I said, Charlie, I'm going to get her to, and she's deflated everything, man. Okay, but I respect it. I respect everything you said, and it makes so much sense. You know, it makes so much sense. So, how is life after E.C?
Oh, fantastic!
You had a great party. I hear you. Your 50th, I hear, was swinging.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No.
No?
No.
Did it come?
It was a sober occasion.
It was a sober occasion. Not the way I heard you were dancing.
No. I did dance, yeah, but I do have some crazy friends.
Yeah.
But I don't think it wasn't a wild party. I don't like parties. I'm just not a party person.
Okay, okay.
And I remember my 50th, I was working in Abuja on the Nigerian elections. I'd started that from November of the year before. My birthday is on the 1st of February. And so I had friends who started calling me, so what are you doing for your 50th? I'm like, nothing, I'll be in Abuja working. They're like, oh, really? Okay, then we will come to Abuja. And I couldn't risk that. So it was actually the office, my law firm and my family that said, okay, let's put something together. So all we did in the morning, there was a Thanksgiving in the house. And then we had a brunch, breakfast in the garden. And then because I had a lot of friends who had also come in from outside the country, we had to do something in the evening. And so we just had a little shindig.
Just had a shake body?
Just a little. It was fun. But it wasn't, and the numbers were what? 120 for the morning, and the evening was even probably like half of that. So I don't do crowds very well, so.
Okay. And it was very interesting because I happened to be sneaking in on your Zoom meeting with the Ukraine Nooks, the National President Nooks. Yes. You were talking to them.
Yes.
Your people, yeah. And I happened to be there, and I was listening to some of the conversations you were having with them. And there's one line that you said that I kept in my mind, and I said, when you come here, I'm going to bring it out.
Okay.
And you told them you don't do petty.
Yes. Because pettiness kills purpose. And it's just an unnecessary distraction.
I like that.
And
it kills purpose and it's an unnecessary distraction.
Yeah.
Do you find that we are very petty? Is our politics petty in Ghana?
Extremely so. Extremely.
Yeah.
But think about it. Sometimes, and I get these calls and somebody else, I'm like, the babies are still dying at Kolebu. How does this affect the price of kinky, for God's sake? It's always so. And this one has done this, and this one said this, and 20 years ago, this one, oh gosh.
You can't deal with it.
I can't.
But advise us as a nation. This is a nation that is really, we bask in pettiness.
It's not for want of knowledge, or we know better. We don't need advice. It's a choice we've made.
To be petty?
Yeah.
Why that choice?
We've elevated, it's rabid partisanship in our politics. And it's getting very toxic. We're all drowning in the waters of this toxic partisanship. But for some reason, we still continue. Leaders and followers alike. I think the blame is on both sides.
So, both the leaders, both the followers.
Yes, it's for us to decide that we're not going to do it this way. But for some reason, we just want to continue. I don't know why. But I think, are you happy with it?
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Very, very sick of it.
It's drowning all of us.
Yeah.
So other than the few who benefit from it, who are paid to troll people online and stuff like that, really, who enjoys this? Because we're avoiding the big issues and the big decisions. And when everything is reduced to the level of partisan politics, then we are even unsure of the decisions that are being taken because we don't know what the basis is from all sides of the political divide, and it's worrying for me. And I think we should be concerned, especially for future generations. But I do still see a glimmer of hope.
You see hope?
Yeah. With the younger ones, I see hope. I try and follow like their debates, especially on social media. And I think they are less partisan. You can see the ones who are paid to throw in all that, but on the general, people are getting
more and more independent thinkers are coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm seeing like there's logic to their positions, and they would debate it, which is necessary in any democracy. You need healthy debates that should not be reduced to persons. So there is some hope that the next generation may save us.
Yeah. I hope so too.
But your generation totally messed up, and mine is supporting very well.
We messed up completely.
The ones before you were wrong.
So hopefully those coming up,
I think so.
They're going to be.
And I've had situations where someone comes on my social media page and says something nasty, and somebody else comments, and then they come and they send a private message and they said, I'm really sorry I wrote this. It was the usual politics. And so there is some hope. I noticed that they wouldn't do it publicly on the same platforms where they said it, but they would send you a private message and they would apologize.
Really?
Yeah.
Even
so I do have some hope.
On the public platform, they'll sort of rubbish you?
They'll say it's the usual politics. So we are grooming people to think that when it is politics, you can say anything, you can do anything, and it is justified. That's a worry for me.
Yeah, and it's gotten to levels that are so bizarre now for me. What people say on TV or
now we have NPP prophets and NDC prophets.
Yes.
That's how base it is getting. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know whether we have MPP gods and NDC gods.
Clearly.
Clearly
NDC blood, MPP blood, I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah. Wow. And hanging in, listening in on your conversation with the generation, these were the nooks. And you seemed disappointed. You told them, why do they address themselves as honorable?
I was shocked. They addressed me as honorable.
You are honorable.
No, I'm not. And then they addressed themselves. I was like, okay, this is getting quite serious. We're now a nation of honorables.
Yeah, we are a nation of honorables.
Honorable Aponchi.
Doing dishonorable things. Honorable.
People have honorable Aponchi. I mean, Bukom Banku just started hosting a show. He will soon have the title honorable.
Honorable.
We're getting there. I mean, we need to wake up at some point.
We have to wake up. Yeah. You have to wake up.
So I'm focused on that generation.
Yeah.
If you can change maybe one person, maybe the change can start.
The old dog, yeah. But I saw the effort you were making with the nooks at Ukraine. You were teaching them that they shouldn't be preoccupied with titles, and they should rather more think about things they can.
No, because I've been worried about that generation for a while now. I think I even wrote a paper, must have been 2010 or so, before I even went into public service, and I was worried about the sheer lack of serious role models for upcoming generation. And when I say role models, even that, I need to qualify it. I do not think that there's any perfect human. I think that it's important for the youth to know that in selecting a role model, one person cannot be your, like, this is I'm following this one. You need to watch people and pick what you can pick from them. But in terms of values, you know, when we were growing up, we had people like VCRAC Crab, KB Asante, you know, to look up to. So I worry now that in terms of our society, what values are we promoting? Not what we say, but what values are we promoting with our actions? What are the youth learning from us? And so who should be a viable role model for young people? So that has worried me for a time. And so you'll see that because people in political office are their role models, that is why they will start aping that and calling themselves honorable for being a NUGS official. And so it also bothers me what the concept of leadership is. Is leadership about titles, or it is really about serving and doing right and supporting your generation? So all those questions were at play in my mind when I was telling them that, you know what, I'm not sure this is the way you should be going.
Yeah, but and that's what you're saying, because they learned, this is something, this is a learned behavior.
Yeah.
This is what we have taught them.
Yeah. But we live in a society now where actually if you do not follow that trend, you may actually be the problem.
Yeah.
And I remember when, at the height of my crisis, one of my classmates said something profound. He said, if you are in a march past, a lineup, and they say everybody turn right, and you turn right, and everybody else turns left, who is in the wrong? I said, well, it's looking like I did wrong. He said, yes, even though you were following the instructions. So that's where we're getting to as a society, where right is becoming wrong and vice versa. And I think this should concern us. And we should remember that almost everything in life is temporary. Change is a constant. And so if we don't get the principles right and the values right, what we don't condemn today can affect us tomorrow.
And you have hopes that the generations coming,
we have to hope.
Will sort of change this, or are they going to just come and learn the same old ways?
I think that if enough of us engage them, we can support that change. And we do owe it to them. We're assuming that they know. They may not. We do owe it to them to at least do a little bit.
We gave them the memo. We have to tell them to change the memo. that we give them.
Yes.
Because the memo doesn't work anymore. Yeah. How did you survive COVID? Well, we're still sort of in
Very
COVID.
happily.
But happily?
I love it.
You love COVID?
I do. I mean, other than the very tragic loss of lives globally, I think it's been a very good thing. I know everybody thinks I'm crazy, but...
Really? Yeah. What are the good things? Well, what for you personally, what good things did it do for you?
For me, I had been working and traveling for almost 10 years non-stop because I tend not to do one thing. I'm always involved in several things, boards, law practice, writing, researching. I do a lot of things that are not even in the public eye, entrepreneurship and all that. And so at every time you're constantly moving, traveling, stuff. So COVID was good. The lockdown was good. I was forced into a point where you had to sit back and just pause and reflect. And the more I reflected, the more I thought that on a personal, on a national, on a global level, there were several reasons why we needed to pause and reflect. I believe we were going in the wrong direction. I mean, I've been a business lawyer all of my law practice, which is going on 26 years. And until this happened, I'd never actually thought about when they say a company is valued at $1 trillion or $1 billion and they have cash reserves of so much. Why did I think it was a good thing when there are so many people who are hungry and people who need resources to go to school? There's a lot of resources in this world and in this country, but the equitable distribution and access of those resources should concern all of us. And I think with COVID, I saw everybody take a step back and start thinking. I wondered why churches had these huge auditoriums and we didn't have soup kitchens to even feed the hungry once a week. So you start wondering what was your original purpose? What was the why, and what did we miss, and why have we strayed so far? I thought even for the churches we had lost our real mission. As Christians, we had lost what should have been our real focus. And COVID forced us to sit back and show some concern for the lives around us and for the people around us, and to probably create a more equitable world. My pain would be if we left this and we went back to how things used to be. I would hope that we don't...
That's the biggest fear.
Yeah, I would hope that we don't go back to the unnecessary flying. Now we see that I had a board meeting in March in South Africa, and all of February people were still saying, no, we needed to meet physically, until, of course, Ghana closed their borders, and the other board members are all from like different countries around Africa and the UK. And eventually we had no choice but to have a board meeting on Zoom, and it was a very good meeting. And I'm thinking, but we spend so much money and time on these flights, and it's a roller coaster. I think we need to stop and reflect on some of the things we used to do.
COVID gave us an opportunity to rethink and reset.
And if you're like me, and then you are looking at all the clothes and the shoes and the bags, and you have nowhere to go, so what was the point? And you know, just to appreciate how simple life can be. I think that was a blessing that came out of COVID.
And you love gardening? See, you do a lot.
I've always loved.
You've always loved gardening?
Yes. From a very young age, yes. Everybody started of me in gardening, yes.
Wow. How did you end up in law and not agricultural?
I'm so happy you asked this. When I finished A-level, I wanted to go and learn my gardening. My father said, no, I should go and do law.
Oh, really? Yes. So after A-level, you were thinking, let me get into gardening?
I wasn't thinking. I had found somebody who was going to train me, and I had made all my arrangements.
Wow.
And he just poo-pooed it, and they kicked me out.
And you went to do law?
Yes.
And you're back with your gardening?
Yes.
It's amazing.
I enjoy gardening.
Yeah.
I like growth, I think. I think that's it. I like growth. Stagnancy frustrates me. I find it very frustrating. One of my least favorite statements when I was in public service was, "This is how we do it." You know, I don't like to hear that, because I always think there's a way you can improve it. Yeah. And I get bored easily, and I love changing stuff and moving furniture. They tolerate me in the office, they tolerate me at home, and I know they roll their eyes behind my back. So the garden is the one place where I can move stuff the way I want to move it, as often as I want to move it, and nobody complains.
Well, you have a beautiful garden. Are you actively doing it yourself, or you have hired people?
Some days when the spirit comes, I'm very active. Other days I just yell out instructions. It depends. But I have my good days when I actually want to do the stuff myself. Yeah.
Somebody asked me, somebody told me to ask you, then somebody, my wife.
Okay. Because I was going to ask how this somebody knew I was coming here.
Yes.
Wife is permitted.
Yes, she's permitted. She says, for women and for somebody like you, first commissioner, electoral commissioner, he says the whole thing about being the first is like so, it's grandiose, but at the same time, it's a very lowly thing to be the first. Do you see it that way? Do you think the challenges that confront women who have such positions are extraordinary, or?
I probably felt the weight of the first more at the NCC than at the EC. Because by the time I moved to the EC, I'd had 4 years of being in that space. That being said, I do, to be honest, there were times when it was difficult for me to honestly encourage other women to come into that space because of what, not just me, what my children had been through. And I wondered if everybody had the kind of resilience to take that on, and whether it was a loving thing to tell another woman to come into that space. But I think that it is important that women break those barriers, if for nothing else, to show that it can be done. I think that we have mediocre men, lots of them, in the same way you can have mediocre women, and you can have fantastic professional men as you can have fantastic professional women, and everybody deserves the chance to come and sit at the table. I think that when we exclude our women from the decision-making process, we do ourselves as a society a great injustice. It is important that the views and the perspectives of women are also heard, as well as the youth. So an inclusive governance architecture works for everybody. It's to our common benefit.
And you're looking forward to seeing the first woman president?
It would be amazing. It would be awesome.
Yeah. You do consider being a vice for any of the candidates? That would be a shock, to No? No.
I think, I think it is, I don't think, I know it is a great privilege to serve your country. I don't think that there is any kind of service that is greater than that.
To serve your country? To
serve your country is a great privilege.
So you have no regrets?
Oh,
in spite of everything?
No, absolutely. It's a privilege, and it should not be taken for granted at all. Having done public service for 7 years, I also believe that there are so many other ways I can continue to serve. And indeed, I do believe that to whom much is given, much is expected. When I was growing up, one of the things my mother always used to tell me was, what you don't give to God, you give to the devil. And it's stayed with me. And what it means is really your time. If you don't give your time to God, you are giving it to the devil. Your talents, your skills, your influence, your everything. And so I believe that if you are as privileged as you and I are, you've been blessed with education, you've been blessed with opportunities, you've been blessed with some level of comfort, you have a duty to give back. So there are so many ways of serving, and when I look at our country, I don't think that the challenges of development should be left to government alone. I think that wherever your passion drives you, whether it is issues such as girl-child education, boy-child education, youth empowerment, skills, decreasing maternal mortality, and helping young babies survive and thrive, and creating a better environment, stopping galamsey. I believe we should find something and do it and support the governance process. Because really, we are the government. It is ours. We've just delegated some people to hold certain offices. But you cannot abdicate and say that the entire challenge of development must be on government shoulders. We have to support our communities. We have to do something. And so I think that it shouldn't only be, okay, so you were in office and so you served. Even out of office, you can still serve and you can still contribute to the development of this country. And indeed, we all should.
Put your hands together, man. Well, let me say a big thank you.
I brought you a gift. I brought you a gift.
Oh!
Almost forgot.
That's mine?
Yeah, I brought you a little gift. There you go.
Show some love, man. I can open it here. Okay, which camera is on my? I need a close-up while I just...
Ta-da!
Wow.
Yes, we need drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
Okay. I want to open it nicely, but I'm tempted to just rip it up.
Rip it up.
Oh, it's a...
There you go.
Business compass.
Yes, that's my
By the way, quickly, in 2 minutes, you have a show coming up called Business Compass.
Yes, I do.
And you also have something called A Chat with Charlotte?
Yes. Business Compass actually has grown out of Chat with Charlotte.
Oh.
And so when I left the EC and I started looking at my mails, because I had all these messages and DMs from young Ghanaians. How did you do this? And how did you survive this? And, being the first woman. And so I gathered some of them one evening based on those who had reached out on social media. And we had coffee, cakes, and Charlotte. And we had a lovely chat. And after that, it became a more regular engagement. And I brought people in to speak to them. So we've been doing that. And a lot of them are entrepreneurs on the platform. So we have a WhatsApp platform. And in engaging them one-on-one or together on business challenges, we realize that, there's some support that they need to understand that there's a science to business management. It's not just passion. And that you must, if you don't respect the structures and the received knowledge about business management, you would not do very well. And governments, past and present, have done a lot in supporting youth entrepreneurship. But I'm concerned about just if people come and it's just giving them money and they don't know how to utilize that, and they don't know how to keep their books, and they don't know the difference between revenue and profits, and how to grow and how to enter into partnerships and stuff like that. And so we decided to start this program.
Business Compass?
Engage, yes.
So you say it's a WhatsApp group?
The Chat with Charlotte, yeah, we have a WhatsApp group.
Oh, you really? Yeah. Do you want to give it up?
No.
No? People can't.
You have to attend a Chat with Charlotte program.
Okay.
And then after the program, if you want to join the WhatsApp group, it's a no crap zone. It's a community of people who come and encourage others to grow. Okay. We don't do crab soup there, so they have to come to a show first.
Okay. How do they join?
Oh, normally when we have a program, we would reserve some seats to the people who are on the platform, but because we want new ones as well, I usually would put it out on social media, and then fastest finger, whoever calls first gets a slot. Yeah.
Great. Show some love, man, one more time. And I'm still here with my business compass, and that's great. So we're going to get more information on this, people who want to just be a part of it. And
the business compass?
Yeah.
It would be amazing if you are a young entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur and you think that you need some guidance, some support, some coaching, some mentoring, you can reach out to us. We have social media handles all working, Twitter, Instagram, I think Facebook as well. And of course, if you send me a message on any of my social media pages, we would welcome you. And also, for the more experienced ones, if you feel you have expertise in any area of business management, finance, strategy, structures, systems, operations, processes, and you want to come on board branding, PR, would welcome that, yes.
Okay. And just before you leave, can you give us your Twitter handle for those who may
My Twitter handle, it's at CHAR_Osei.
Okay.
Same as Instagram.
Same as Instagram.
Those are my playgrounds. I don't do Facebook.
You don't do You're young, that's why.
No,
Facebook is for that generation and older.
It's so pedestrian.
And you see the handles on the screen right now. Show Sola one more time. And it's been great. I've been handling her since she was easy.
It was less painful than I anticipated.
Oh, you see? You have fun?
That's fun.
Okay. So show us one more time. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
Okay, also remember that we are having a special post-COVID rates on the KSM Show. If you have any ad, please call the number 024-766-1983 and we'll discuss some very good rates with you to put your ads on the KSM Show. Is it red wine or white wine? Whichever it is, go for man wine. They have the best. And by the way, when you call them, tell them that you had it on KSM. That alone will get you a discount.
Etiefo, se wope wine in Sata, me pacho pi, man family wine. I'm rantie miensa wo mu free Stellenbosch, South Africa ye ne kwan. Red wine awuduni bi ene Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot ena Syrah. White wine nso ebi ne Chardonnay ene Chanel Blanc. Wo pese wo enjoy wine ya. Me pacho pi. White wine no 7 ice cold ena red wine nso maninye cool kakra. Wo pache de bi dia mo pani bia. Man family wine. Who ye party and a yen swa, and rain free man family wine. RT's option was Spintex Road in Krankwa, and a sole distributor Ewo Ghana. At to phone for 020-811-0618, 059-261-1618, and now 020-816-1601. Man family wine, or Bia see ye. Num Ninyansemu, one too many power winning fear do watching, and Sessa Penfo num be. FDA ashisha sa ejedi nkrato imachia to mu say eye.
By the way, Sunday is Father's Day, man. And at Cactus Creek, we're having a special for all fathers. There's a live band actually performing at Cactus Creek. And if you want to get to Cactus Creek and enjoy Father's Day, call this number 055-039-5007. And the number for Cactus Creek is 055-039-5007.
Hello, we know you like elegant, decent, classy, and original northern smoke or fugu without royal touch. But where and how to get the best is your concern. Worry no more. Step Up Ghana, day for you. We provide you with only high-end quality smokes, smoke-inspired outfits, and smoke fabrics. Our showroom is located in Wa, next to the Kambale Goyal filling station of the Residency Road. Good news is that we do worldwide deliveries also. So please, don't worry about the distance. You can visit our website on www.stepup.com. Call or WhatsApp us on 0244-913393. On Facebook and Instagram at Step Up GH. Step Up, always a step up.